Hello, everyone. A very good evening to all. I really hope that I'm clearly audible and properly visible to everyone. Just those people who are joining me live, I can see many people are already there. Can you guys give me the confirmation? Am I properly audible and clearly visible or not? We will wait for a few minutes so that everyone, whosoever wants to join today's live session, they will be able to join it. And then maybe we can start our today's discussion. It will be a very interesting topic, and I really hope that after the end of the today's session, you will find it pretty much insightful. So we'll wait for few minutes so that everyone will join the live, and then maybe we can start. You can also let your friends know that already live is started, right? I will also post in my WhatsApp group that live is started now, and then maybe we can start. Many people are joining. Let's wait for one more minute. Perfect. I can see many people have joined. Very good. Interesting. How is everyone doing? In the meantime, others are joining. So, how is everyone doing? Let me take few of your questions if you have, and then maybe we can start. Okay, Prateek posted one question. Let me take his question as well. Just give me a second. Meanwhile, I am also setting up for today's class. It's been a lot of time that I have not taken the YouTube live. So I thought that let's take it today, right? The question is, let me post this question first of all. It says that if I give 4 hours per day, is it enough to learn data science with your cohort? Definitely, yes. 4 hours is quite a big deal. If you can deliver 4 hours on a daily basis, per day you are saying, then so I think you will obviously learn more what I'm sharing in the cohort. You will get a lot of time in terms of doing your own self study also. So मैं हमेशा बोलती हूँ कि in any of the course whenever you will enroll, apart from what your mentor is teaching, it's your responsibility to learn on your own as well. Do your self work, self study, research work, and then only you will be able to get the complete picture of any specific topic. तो जो मैंने पढ़ाया that is fine, but apart from that, what other new things you are learning, that is important to gain the understanding, because mentors also try to cover up that content, but due to time constraint, maximum time मेरे साथ ऐसा होता है कि I won't be able to cover up those topics. So I will give that topics as a task, right? Now many learners might not done that task, but if you are devoting your time on a daily basis, I think you will be able to gain a lot more with respect to what I'm covering up in the cohort. That is for sure. When I'm saying 4 hours, I am perfectly assuming that you are talking about a quality time dedicating to this specific cohort. Very good. I think we can start our discussion. Many people have already joined the cohort, sorry, today's specific live session. First of all, thank you so much for joining live. Now, just give me the confirmation whether my screen is properly visible or not, and then maybe we can start our further discussion. Just give me the confirmation whether my screen is properly visible to everyone. I feel it is visible. I can see on the other screen very clearly. Visible hai screen clearly, everyone? Shall we discuss about today's topic? Depth में discuss करें? Can I get the confirmation? Perfect. Great. So, whenever we are talking about this vector databases, nowadays you must have heard this term quite frequently. अभी तक जितने भी प्रीवियस स्पैन में हमने टॉपिक्स करे, आई थिंक यू मस्ट हैव वॉच्ड माय प्लेलिस्ट ऑफ सीक्वल. वहां पे हम ट्रेडिशनल डेटाबेस को लेकर काफी डिस्कस करते थे, वो आज भी यूज होते हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल माई सीक्वल को लेकर हमने इन डेप्थ प्लेलिस्ट डिजाइन की हुई है, जिसमें यू मस्ट हैव ऑब्जर्व दैट सीक्वल की क्वेरीज को हम किस तरीके से फेच करते हैं, डेटा को किस तरीके से हम फेच करते हैं गिवन अ रो नंबर, गिवन अ record that we will be having. That was very easy task, right? And we just have to learn about how can we optimize the SQL queries, and it would be very easy to access the data. फिर ये टर्म आया जिसने काफी ज्यादा, आई वुड से आज के टाइम पे जितने भी टियर 1 टियर 2 कंपनीज हैं जो कि मेजरली एआई जनरेटिव एआई पे काम कर रहे हैं, वहां पे आपको दिखेगा कि दे आर यूजिंग दिस वेक्टर डेटाबेसेस. तो ये क्या होता है और क्या ये डिफरेंट होता है ट्रेडिशनल डेटाबेसेस से? दिस इज अ वेरी फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन विच आई माइट थिंक दैट यू गाइज हैव, है ना? कि जो ये वेक्टर डेटाबेसेस है, क्या इज दिस समथिंग विच इज कंप्लीटली अ डिफरेंट कॉन्सेप्ट एज कंपेरेबल टू व्हाट वी हैव लर्नड इन ट्रेडिशनल डेटाबेसेस? जब मैं ट्रेडिशनल डेटाबेसेस की बात कर रही हूँ, आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट डेटाबेस लाइक माई सीक्वल, जो कि हमने कंप्लीटली डेप्थ में अपनी प्लेलिस्ट में कवर अप भी करी है. इफ यू हैव वॉच्ड माई प्लेलिस्ट ऑफ सीक्वल पार्ट, राइट? व्हाट डू यू थिंक? इज दिस वेक्टर डीबी और वेक्टर डेटाबेसेस are different from traditional databases, or they are similar? If they are different, what is the major difference? If they are similar, why you are saying so? Any inputs on the same? Anyone? क्या लगता है आप लोगों को? अच्छा, by the way, I will share at the end of the class this specific article also, which you can read after this session will get over. Like once you will read this article after this session, it will give you a brief understanding of whatever things we have covered up in this session. Okay? So I will share it with you all. So let me share it in this chat window as well. ठीक है? अब क्या आंसर होना चाहिए? क्या ये जो हमारे पास ट्रेडिशनल डेटाबेसेस थे उससे कंप्लीटली डिफरेंट है कि नहीं? द सिंपल आंसर विल बी दैट yes, the vector databases are completely different from what we have learned in the MySQL, what we have learned in the traditional databases. अब ऐसा क्यों है? क्योंकि when we're talking about this MySQL, when we're talking about this MySQL, we are trying to access the records by applying the SQL based queries on the row number, if you remember. तो बेसिकली हमारे पास जो रिकॉर्ड्स के इंडेक्सेस होते थे, हम उस पे मेजरली काम करते थे. सो इंटरनल सारे उस तरीके से काम करते थे, राइट? बट व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट दिस वेक्टर डीबी, हाउ इज इट डिफरेंट? एक्चुअली दिस इज समहाउ वर्किंग ऑन द स्टोरेज ऑफ वेक्टर एम्बेडिंग्स. अब ये क्या नई चीज है? दैट इज व्हाट वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड इन टुडेज क्लास. व्हाट डू वी मीन बाय वेक्टर एम्बेडिंग्स? How basically these embeddings will be generated? What is the main purpose of that? And that is where once you will be able to understand the concept of vector embeddings, it will be very, very easy for you to understand the concept of vector DB as well. So let's start our journey from the very scratch part. Let's suppose you will be having any textual data. uh, from my audience, at least I'm expecting that they all know, because you guys might be interested in the world of data science. That's why you are here. So can I assume that you already know that how the textual data is actually pre-processed? Matlab, if I will write in my textual data, like, hey, how are you? Right? This is a simple sentence I am writing in my textual data. So इन अ ब्रॉडर पिक्चर, जब हम इस सेंटेंस को पास कर रहे हैं, तो व्हाट डू यू थिंक विल हैपन इंटरनली? क्या हमारा मॉडल डायरेक्टली इस स्पेसिफिक वर्ड को पढ़ लेता है, या फिर आप कभी भी असिस्टेंट चैट जीपीटी को जब ये टेक्स्ट लिखते हो, हे हाउ आर यू विल गेट अ रिस्पॉन्स फ्रॉम इट कि आई एम डूइंग गुड, व्हाट अबाउट यू, लाइक दैट. तो ये रिस्पॉन्स एक्चुअली में आता कैसे है? क्या डायरेक्टली इन स्पेसिफिक टेक्सचुअल वर्ड्स को हमारा मॉडल समझता है, या फिर कुछ और इंटरनली होता है? एनी आइडिया? इफ यू हैव वॉच्ड माय एनएलपी पोर्शन, आई थिंक कुछ दिन पहले ही मैंने हेलो, am I audible, everyone? Can anyone give me the confirmation? Hello, am I audible? I think there's some network issue at my end, due to which in between live got disrupted. Is my voice is clear now? Perfect. Thank you so much for waiting. Let me share my screen again. Okay. My screen is also visible, right? So I was sharing with you this specific playlist. Have you watched this one? NLP playlist? How AI understands language? At any point of time, have you seen that? Yes. So I hope in that case you already know that how this textual data will be pre-processed. So first of all, these specific sentences, whatever we have, will be converted back to tokens. So what will happen over here? A list of tokens will be there. What is token? A specific word, like hey is one word we have, then how is one word we have, R is another word we have. U is another word we have. Question mark is maybe the another word we have. So what will happen is this complete sentence which you are looking over here will be converted into the tokens. And once you will get these tokens, I hope you all know over here that our machines won't be able to understand these words. These words will be mapped into some numeric data. These words will be mapped to some numeric data. And you will get some numeric value corresponding to every word. For example, let's say corresponding to hey, you will get 100, corresponding to how you will get 102, corresponding to r, you will get, let's say, 103. I'm just writing some random numbers over here, but I hope you're getting my context, what I'm trying to convey over here. That actually, when we pass any specific textual data to our model take it as a token, a single word, step by step, it will map it to a numeric data, and this is how we will be able to see our final result. So we, as a user, passing a textual word because that is what we understand, but internally everything is mapped with a numeric value. Just give me the confirmation if this is clear to everyone. Shall I showcase you the same thing? What I'm trying to convey to you, if it is clear to everyone, let me showcase you this practically. Now, what I have done few minutes back before this session gets started, I have tried to open one folder. So this is the folder that we have, YT masterclass, inside that vector databases. Now, what I have done over here, I have tried to create one virtual environment in my Visual Studio. So you can see over here that this is what our virtual environment we have. I hope you all know how can we create the virtual environment. Just give me a thumbs up if you know how can we create the virtual environments. It's quite simple. What we supposed to do is, here I'm writing it down. So I'll share all of these notes and everything in my today's comment section. I'll share everything with respect to whatever we are covering up over here. So in this specific part, how can we create any new virtual environment? Anyone knows that? Anyone having any idea? So whatever folder you want to go in, you can go inside that, and just in the terminal, you can write Python -m venv. So this will help you to create the virtual environment. This command will help you to create the virtual environment. And once it is done, what you can do is you can just activate this by saying venv. Where you want to go? You want to go inside. So a few minutes back, I have mentioned this command. Yep. So you want to go inside which specific place? venv/scripts. And here you have to activate your, I would say, virtual environment. So basically what we have to do, venv/scripts/activate. Once you write this specific part, your virtual environment will get activated inside the Windows. Once you do that, now whatever task we are performing everything on the virtual environment only, right? Now, what I have done over here in this specific part, I have tried to create a very first file, which is a tokenization.py. Now, what I'm trying to showcase you over here, that if let's say we are passing this text as hello, how are you? Few minutes back, I have taken this example, right? We have taken this library called a stick token. Now, if I just have to showcase you the documentation of the same, so you will be able to observe that this specific token, tick token, is a tokenizer for use of OpenAI models. So you need to install it first. And after that, what will happen is it will try to convert whatever be the input you are passing and encode your data in a way of mappings, numeric mappings, what I'm talking about. So if I try to run this specific code file, if I try to showcase you, can you see what we have done over here? We have taken the text as hello, how are you? And when you try to encode this specific text, you can see the tokens available over here. If I just try to copy and paste these tokens, you will be able to see that this is what we are getting. corresponding to the textual data that we will be having. Hello, how are you? So what we will be able to get when we are saying we are trying to do an encoding part over here, we are trying to encode and convert every specific text to a numeric mapping. So this is what we called as encoding. Getting my point? Is this clear to everyone? Now, if let's say you want to decode this specific mapping that we have, process is called as decoding. So once you decode this again, you will be able to get the same string, which is hello, how are you? Getting my point? So if I will try to see that what is the decode of this specific tokens that we will be able to get in the above part while doing the encoding part, you can see that our decoded text looks like hello, how are you? We are going back to what from where we have started our journey. So what I'm trying to convey from this specific demo is that whatever the textual data you are passing, actually that is something which will be converted into tokens, a numeric value mapping. If you want to check those tokens literal word, you can again decode it back to see the decoded text again. Is this clear to everyone till so far? This step is something which we call as tokenization. Yes, everyone is comfortable till so far? Any doubt, anyone? Just listen this session, and after this session will get over, try to implement the same thing at your end. One more thing, I will let you know that all of these things which I am implementing over here, it's a part under OpenAI. So you should have few credits available inside your OpenAI account, because you have to pass the OpenAI key to demonstrate all of these things. You can see that here I just have this .env environment. Inside this, I have mentioned one OpenAI key, and accordingly, I will be, using that OpenAI key to demonstrate all of these steps. Okay. So if I will showcase you my account, you can see over here that there is a billing in which you should have some credit balance. Then only you will be able to implement these things, because we are using the OpenAI keys over here to implement these stuff. Okay? Shall we move ahead now? Now, what is the meaning of embeddings in that case? Tokens we understood, but what is the meaning of embeddings? Now, you all know that if let's say we are passing two sentences, one is with reference to Apple. For example, if I'll say, today morning, let's say I ate apple. And the second sentence I am passing is, let's say I am working in Apple. Now, we have the same words. So when we talk about tokenization process, because as per the wordings, they both look same. So it will provide the similar tokens internally. Yes or no? Right? But what do you think? Are they same or they are different? In one case, I am saying that in the morning I have eaten the apple. In the another part, I am saying that I am working in Apple. So in both of the context, does this apple is same or having a different meaning? सेम एप्पल सेम है दोनों में, दोनों के डिस्कशन में एप्पल का मतलब सेम है. या फिर अलग है? अलग है तो क्या अलग है? मैंने आज सुबह एप्पल खाया, मैं एप्पल में काम करती हूं. क्या ये दोनों बातों का मतलब सेम है? नहीं है, राइट? एक एप्पल बेसिकली फ्रूट को डेमोन्स्ट्रेट कर रहा है और एक एप्पल बेसिकली कंपनी को डेमोन्स्ट्रेट कर रहा है. बट जब हम टोकन्स की बात करते हैं, सो इट विल जस्ट ट्राई टू टेक दैट स्पेसिफिक वर्ड एंड कन्वर्ट इट इनटू अ न्यूमेरिक पार्ट. मतलब क्या हुआ? मतलब ये हुआ कि इनिशियली The problem was about the semantic meaning. हम क्या चाहते हैं? At the end of the day, what we want is, we want that our model will also able to understand the context behind every word. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि उसे मतलब कॉन्टेक्स्ट ही नहीं पता, वो बस सिंपली एक मैपिंग कर रहा है डिक्शनरी में, जैसे की वैल्यू पेयर की मैपिंग होती है. एंड because of that, we jump towards another interesting topic, that is what we called as vector embeddings. Vector embeddings. अब ये क्या होते हैं? For every specific word which you mention, वो कहीं ना कहीं आपको उसके न्यूमेरिक वेक्टर्स बना के देगा, बट नाउ इट विल हैव टू मेक श्योर दैट जो कॉन्टेक्स्ट आप बात कर रहे हो वो कॉन्टेक्स्ट उसको लेके चलेगा. मतलब कि अगर आप, if you will try to see in your 2D part and if you will try to design, so you will observe that whatsoever words, whatever be the two words having the similar meaning, they are very close to each other. एक काफी फेमस एग्जाम्पल है एनएलपी में, आप लोगों ने जरूर सुना होगा, किंग एंड मैन, क्वीन, वुमेन. हैव यू हर्ड अबाउट दिस स्पेसिफिक एग्जाम्पल? अगर मैं आपको एक सिंपल डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन भी दिखा सकती हूँ यहाँ पे. If I'll showcase you king, man, exactly this is what I was talking about, features. So if I will try to showcase you inside this image, this is what you will be able to see. यहाँ पे बहुत clearly नहीं दिख रहा, but here you can see, right? जो भी स्पेसिफिक वर्ड्स का सिमेंटिक मीनिंग सेम था, वो दोनों आपस में पास पास हो गए. मतलब कि यू विल बी एबल टू ऑब्जर्व द किंग एंड क्वीन आर नियर बाय, man and women are nearby, and one thing which you will be able to observe over here, that this green line represents the queen and women, this red line or orangish line represents the king and man. So somehow these lines colors indicates the gender, but when we talk about the difference, it indicates the similarity between these two. Means maybe king and queen, definitely they both will be rich. Men and women, they are coming under the common, I would say, people part, right? So what I really want to convey over here, that you will observe several examples in which this vector embeddings come into picture, where what it does is it will try to map whatever data you are providing into the multi-dimensional space, into the multi-dimensional space. And now for every specific word, you might have multiple dimensions. It will try to see the pattern, it will try to understand the semantic. And for those two words where the meaning is same or the context is same, you will find that they are having a minimum, I would say, gap, you can say, or minimum, I would say, distance among each other. So if I try to showcase the same thing over here, अगर मैं फिर से एक बार VS Code पे जाऊं, तो यहाँ पे हम क्या कर रहे हैं? We are trying to load the .ev file. .env फाइल में बेसिकली OpenAI की है, उसको हम यूज कर रहे हैं. और अब यहाँ पे अगर आप ध्यान से देखो, फॉर एग्जाम्पल यहाँ पे मैंने ये सेम एग्जाम्पल डॉक्यूमेंटेशन से उठाया, why is the sky blue करके. If we will try to see the embeddings of this specific textual data, by the way, here we're talking about the model. Just understand it that we have multiple models which will be able to do this embedding task. I'm using a very small basic model over here. And if we will try to see and run this specific file now, and if I'll try to showcase you how will the embeddings will look like, can you see this big numeric number list is what the mapping of this specific textual data that we will be having. So you can imagine that this is so huge. And when we talk about this vector databases, actually these vector databases are used to store these bigger size vector embeddings. समझ में आया? अब because the data is quite huge, we have so many bigger textual data words available on Google, Wikipedia. So obviously we need that huge strong database which will be able to store the embeddings, vector embeddings of these specific words, which has the literal meaning as well. So what will happen usually कि जो भी आप डेटा, जो भी आप वर्ड्स पास करते हो, तो उसके एम्बेडिंग्स जनरेट होती हैं। कैसे होती है वो मैंने अभी अभी आपको दिखाया। और ये जो वेक्टर एम्बेडिंग्स हैं, कहीं ना कहीं ये हमारे वेक्टर डीबी के अंदर स्टोर होती है। आई होप यू आर गेटिंग माई पॉइंट। और यहाँ पे ऐसा नहीं होगा कि वन टू वन मैपिंग हो रही है जैसे टोकन्स में हो रहा था। यहाँ पे मल्टी डायमेंशनल एम्बेडिंग्स होती है, मतलब कि क्योंकि हमारा डिफरेंट डिफरेंट कॉन्टेक्स्ट के साथ, पैटर्न्स के साथ वो मैप करता है, तो आपकी जो एम्बेडिंग का साइज होगा दैट विल बी क्वाइट ह्यूज, राइट। वो 1000 डायमेंशन हो सकता है, वो 2000 डायमेंशन हो सकता है, वो 10,000 डायमेंशन हो सकता है। वो डिपेंड करता है कि व्हाट काइंड ऑफ मॉडल यू आर यूजिंग टू जनरेट दोज एम्बेडिंग्स। अब आप आफ्टर दिस सेशन you can explore in OpenAI what are the different models that we will be having to generate these embeddings. But I have showcased you brief idea about how can we generate these embeddings from this part of the code. Simple code, nothing big, nothing fancy, just using a open API key and trying to directly with the help of this text embedding, three small model will be giving us the embeddings of that. और आजकल कंपनीज में दैट इज व्हाट दे आर डूइंग, दे यूजुअली डोंट create any specific model from scratch. We have so many inbuilt models available with us, और बस हम उस मॉडल्स को कॉल कर रहे हैं और अपने रिजल्ट को कहीं ना कहीं स्टोर कर रहे हैं अपने वेक्टर डीबी के अंदर. Now depending upon which specific domain you are working in and what kind of data you have, your database will be different. Clear हुआ? Does it make sense? Which RDBMS is used to store vector DB? तो यहाँ पे हम रिलेशनल डेटाबेसेस को यूज नहीं कर रहे. दैट इज व्हाट वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट फ्रॉम द टुडेज टॉपिक, कि इतनी बड़ी बड़ी एम्बेडिंग्स को, इतने बड़े साइज की एम्बेडिंग को स्टोर करने के लिए हम वेक्टर डेटाबेसेस पे जा रहे हैं. इसीलिए इसकी जरूरत है, इसीलिए सब लोग इसके बारे में बात कर रहे हैं. दैट्स द मेन रीजन, राइट. पहले तो हम क्या करते थे, रिकॉर्ड्स को स्टोर करते थे. अब क्योंकि एक स्पेसिफिक स्ट्रिंग का वेक्टर डीबी इतना बड़ा है, सॉरी वेक्टर एम्बेडिंग्स इतनी बड़ी है, इतना बड़ा उसका लिस्ट का साइज है, mathematical values hai. So to store that, we need that huge database which can easily store those values. Now, if you will go back to the article which I have shared with you, you will find in that article itself, I just copied it in the notes. This is what you will find out in the starting of the definition. What is a vector database? Vector database indexes and stores vector embeddings. This is important keyword which you should know. And today I have showcased you practically what is the meaning of this vector embeddings for the fast retrieval and similarity search. अच्छा, अब एक और चीज है जो आगे स्टोरी में आती है. Once you will be able to store these huge vector embeddings in your vector DB, अब let's say user ने query करी, ठीक है, user is asking any specific query. अब वेक्टर डीबी के अंदर लेट सपोज यूनिवर्स का, मतलब जो भी डेटा हमारे पास है वो अवेलेबल है, embeddings available है. So let's suppose this is a vector DB. This is a vector database that we will be having. अब यहां पे हमारे पास let's assume कि सारी न्यूमेरिक वैल्यूज की जो मैपिंग है वो अवेलेबल है, जितना भी वोकेबलरी साइज, जितना भी अभी तक का डेटाबेस है उसके अंदर सब कुछ अवेलेबल है. अब यूजर ने कुछ क्वेरी किया, यूजर ने बोला, लेट्स से यूजर ने कहा, व्हाट कुड बी द पॉसिबल क्वेश्चन यूजर कैन आस्क, like what is the capital of India? This is a simple question user is asking. अब होगा क्या कि वहीं स्पेसिफिकली इट विल ट्राई टू मैप कि इंडिया के पास में विद रिस्पेक्ट टू वट एवर क्वेरी वी आर पासिंग ऑन, कौन सा कैपिटल अवेलेबल है. अब एक्चुअली में ये जो क्वेरी है इसकी भी एम्बेडिंग बनती है. दिस क्वेरी ऑल्सो गेट्स द एम्बेडिंग्स. और फिर इंटरनली यहां पर एक मेजर लगता है जिसे हम बोलते हैं कोसाइन सिमिलरिटी मेजर. तो ये जो स्पेसिफिक क्वेरी है वो किसके साथ सबसे ज्यादा सिमिलरिटी मेजर रखती है, और वो स्पेसिफिक रिजल्ट आपको मिलेगा. ऐसे ही लेट से आपने एक क्वेश्चन डाला, लेट सपोज बिकॉज वी आर टुडे वर्किंग विद अ data science domain or AI domain, you have asked, what is AI? Let's say this is a big question which you are asking, which contains, let's say, in response, multiple tokens to retrieve. तो यहां पे क्या होगा, वो चेक करेगा कि ये स्पेसिफिक क्वेरी का एम्बेडिंग क्या है और मेरे वेक्टर डीबी में जो सबसे बड़ा डेटाबेस मेरे पास अवेलेबल है वहां पे वो किस स्पेसिफिक जगह पे स्टोर है और उसका रिस्पॉन्स, उसका कॉन्टेक्स्ट कहां पर है. वो कैसे होगा, दैट विल बी डन विद द हेल्प ऑफ दिस कोसाइन सिमिलरिटी मेजर. अब ये क्या होता है, फॉर दैट ऑल्सो आई हैव टेकन वन गीक्स फॉर गीक्स आर्टिकल विच यू कैन रेफर आफ्टर दिस क्लास. बट जस्ट टू शोकेस यू द फॉर्मूला ऑफ एनी कोसाइन सिमिलरिटी मेजर इज कि लेट्स सपोज आपके पास दो पॉइंट्स हैं एक्स और वाई. what you will do is you will take the dot product of those 2 points and then you will try to find out the normalized value of this x and y. How we will be able to find out? It's very easy. Let me give you one simple example. How can we find out the length or the magnitude of two vectors? जैसे कि इन्होंने लिया x की वैल्यू क्या थी 3205. So this is the value of x which they have taken. Y की वैल्यू क्या थी? This is 1000. Now let's assume that this might be a vector embedding of any specific word. ठीक है. अब मुझे चेक करना है कि इन दोनों वर्ड्स में, फॉर एग्जाम्पल x जो है वो वेक्टर डीबी में अवेलेबल है और y जो है लेट सपोज क्वेरी है यूजर की, दोनों की एम्बेडिंग्स है हमारे पास में. तो होगा क्या कि इट विल ट्राई टू सी द वैल्यू ऑफ x इनटू y. सो ऑब्वियसली इट विल बी 3 into 1 plus 2 into 0 plus 0 into 0 plus 5 into 0. ठीक है. अब उसके बाद हाउ यू विल बी एबल टू कैलकुलेट दिस मैग्नीट्यूड ऑफ x. It is nothing but square root of 3 power 2, 2 power 2, 0 power 2, 5 power 2. Magnitude of y will be square root of 1 power 2, 0 power 2, 0 power 2, 0 power 2. Now, whatever answer you're getting, let me recheck what is the answer they are getting. So, they are getting the answer, the first place as 3, in the second place as 6.16, and in the third place as 1. And then if you will try to fulfill this specific value, here 3 divided by 6.16, तो हमारा आंसर जो आएगा दैट इज कमिंग आउट टू बी 0.49. मतलब कि जो दो पॉइंट्स हैं जो हम यूज कर रहे हैं, एम्बेडिंग्स यूज कर रहे हैं एक्स और वाई, वो कितने ज्यादा सिमिलर है, वी कैन से 49% उन दोनों में सिमिलरिटी है. इसका मतलब डिसिमिलरिटी कितनी है? इफ समवन इज आस्किंग यू हाउ मच दे आर डिसिमिलर, it will be nothing but 1 minus 0.49. So you will be able to get the result as 0.51 if I'm not wrong. So this is what, how much they are dissimilar. So that is how we will be able to get the similarity and the dissimilarity of the two specific embeddings or the vectors that we will be having. तो एक यूजर की क्वेरी होगी, एक हमारे पास ऑब्वियसली एम्बेडिंग्स अवेलेबल होंगी. तो हम क्या करेंगे और हमारा इंटरनल सिस्टम क्या करेगा, वो इतना फास्ट ऑपरेशन होता है सिमिलरिटी सर्च का कि इट विल ट्राई टू सी दैट हाउ मच दे आर सिमिलर. तो अगर लेट से, वैसे तो कोई ट्रेडिशनल वैल्यूज नहीं है, बट स्टिल इफ इट इज बियॉन्ड दिस 0.80, it indicates that somehow that they are very high similar with respect to what the user is asking as the query, and then it will return that specific answer. है ना. तो जो सिमिलर होगा वो स्पेसिफिक रिजल्ट उसको रिट्रीव करेगा डीबी से और वो स्पेसिफिक आंसर रिटर्न करेगा. That is how the internal process will go. और क्योंकि ये इतना ऑप्टिमाइज्ड मैनर में कोड लिखा गया है इस वेक्टर डीबी के अंदर, इसीलिए ये इतना फेमस हो रखा है, राइट. दैट इज द मेन रीजन. नाम से ही पता चल रहा है वेक्टर डीबी का मेजर पर्पस डिजाइनिंग का ये था. सो यू कैन सी वेक्टर डेटाबेसेस लाइक पाइनकोन, वन ऑफ द वेरी फेमस वेक्टर डीबी, फुलफिल दिस रिक्वायरमेंट बाय ऑफरिंग द ऑप्टिमाइज स्टोरेज. देखो एक चीज तो हमें चाहिए स्टोरेज, क्योंकि काफी बड़ी एम्बेडिंग्स है जैसा कि हमने प्रैक्टिकली भी देखा. सो व्हाट वी नीड इज द ऑप्टिमाइज स्टोरेज जो कि वेक्टर डीबी प्रोवाइड कर रहा है. दूसरी चीज क्वेरीइंग कैपेबिलिटीज, बहुत फास्ट रिट्रीवल होता है एम्बेडिंग्स का, सो दैट वी विल बी एबल टू गेट द रिजल्ट्स. एंड दैट इज द मेन रीजन व्हाई दिस स्पेसिफिक डेटाबेस इज वेरी वेरी फेमस नाउअडेज. सो यू कैन सी बेसिकली यहाँ पे ये बताया गया in the second part of this specific discussion that how vector databases are different from the traditional databases. So if you will see this very carefully, in traditional databases we are querying for rows. जैसा कि मैंने स्टार्टिंग ऑफ द सेशन में बोला, अगर आप मेरी प्लेलिस्ट भी चेक करोगे, सो इन दैट आई हैव शोकेस्ड यू प्रैक्टिकली, यू विल बी एबल टू ऑब्जर्व कि वहां पर सारे ऑपरेशंस जो है वो हमारे रोज से हो रहे हैं, where the value exactly matches our query. In vector db we apply a similarity metric. Just now we have talked about cosine similarity के बारे में हमने डिस्कस किया, जैसे जो कि applicable होती है to find a vector that is the most similar to our query. So a vector databases uses a combination of different algorithms that all participate in. This is also a very interesting searching algorithm. Approximate nearest neighbor, मतलब कि कौन सा सबसे ज्यादा पास है, मतलब कि वही आपका रिजल्ट होगा. These algorithms optimize the search through hashing, quantization, graph-based search. And this is where I have talked about how can you create a new virtual environment, right? And this is the introduction to vector databases. So समझ में आया? Basically what we have covered up, we have seen today what do we mean by specifically tokens, how can we create tokens, why tokens are not enough or sufficient because they won't be able to capture the semantic meaning. To capture the semantic meaning, we went for the vector embeddings. We have seen the practical implementation, how they are generated. After that, we have seen that for a single specific textual data, we have too many, I would say, embeddings. It's a multidimensional embeddings that we will be having. In order to store that much huge amount of data of those vector embeddings, we are using this vector databases. Now, why only vector databases? Because they provide the fast retrieval and the similarity search. For example, Pinecone, which provides optimized storage and the capabilities to do the faster retrieval of the embeddings. How it will be able to give us the result? By using a cosine similarity measure, that is also we have covered up. And that is what is the major reason that why vector DBs are so famous, which is the objective for today's class. I really hope that you find it insightful and at least you get the idea that what is actually all about this vector DB. There is actually a lot more to explore. Now it's your task to first of all implement how basically I will be able to generate these embeddings. Secondly, to read about this article as a whole. For example, here you can see this specific diagram I really like the most. Here they're providing the complete scenario that how these things are happening internally. So there is a content, there is an application. We have an embedding model. So for example, we have this specific model. Let's say text embedding 3 small. With the help of embedding model, we will be able to get the vector embeddings. So now we have the vector embeddings for the query also and for the complete content also. It will go inside this vector database and will be able to see the similarity part. And wherever it will find that there is maximum similarity, that query will result back to the application. That is how internally the things will be working. So you can read this specific article again to understand whatever things I have conveyed over here. And now I can see in between many people are asking few questions. So I will be open to take few questions for the next few minutes. So let me first of all stop sharing my screen and then maybe I can take the questions. Okay. Okay, what's the question? So the question is, ma'am, OpenAI is a paid version, Hugging Face is a free, so I can use this version on this project. Exactly, yes, you can use it. There is a Gemini Google part as well. If I'll try to showcase you that as well. In that also you can create your API की Google AI Studio. वहां पे जाके भी आपको I think free ही होता है वो initial trials के लिए तो definitely it is for free. So you can go ahead, generate a I would say API key and use that to do the task, whatever we have done today. Okay? Any other question anyone is having? Otherwise, we can wrap up this specific session. Please do share this specific session, this specific video with everyone. Recordings will be available on this channel. If you find the session insightful, please do share it with your friends. And if I will see that there are maximum comments in this video with respect to, let's target it, maybe कितने target कर सकते हैं 50 minimum, ठीक है? और अगर if I'll see that there is a good like, good views, I will try to come back again with a more relatable topics with respect to the today's part, right? If you want. Data number change as per the sentence we gave. हाँ, that will be changed. क्योंकि जैसे ही आप सेंटेंस बदल दोगे तो सेंटेंस का कॉन्टेक्स्ट बदल जाएगा एंड एज पर दैट सिमेंटिक्स चेंज होंगे तो एम्बेडिंग्स चेंज होंगी. दैट्स द होल पॉइंट. दैट्स ट्रू, राइट? Mohit, thank you so much. I really appreciate whatever you said. Thanks a lot. Mohit Jain. Any other question anyone is having? All good? समझ में आया कि क्यों वेक्टर डेटाबेसेस इतने फेमस है? Can I get a quick confirmation before we will wrap up the today's discussion? How is the session went overall? Do you find it interesting or कुछ भी समझ नहीं आया, just bounce हो गया सब कुछ? Yes, perfect. फिर भी अगर कुछ डाउट है तो try to rewatch these recordings and do let me know in the comment section, right? And then maybe we can, as per the reach, as per the counts, as per the comments counts, we will see that whether we should come back again or not, right? With that, bye bye everyone. See ya. I'll see you all in the next upcoming video or in the live session. Bye bye. Thank you so much for joining in.